Hello everyone, my name is Esthetician. I am the owner of Impeccable Beats and Spa, and today I just want to share my story with you on how I got started and what brought me here. Entrepreneurship for me was my only means of survival. Growing up, I got fired from almost every single job that I worked at, and it wasn't because I wasn't good at my job, it's because I suffered my whole life from something called sickle cell anemia. It's where your red blood cells go from a perfect circular shape into a crescent shape. And because of this, it causes blockages throughout the body. And the blockages cause an excruciating amount of pain. Harvard University did a study and they said that the amount of pain feels like breaking 7 bones at the same time. Because of this, it led me to being hospitalized almost half of my life. And due to these hospitalizations, it caused me to not be able to be fully present at my jobs and school. My employers always viewed me as a liability and not an asset. It didn't matter how good I was at my job. They wanted someone to be there every day that they were scheduled. Sickle cell anemia has taken a huge toll on my life, not only physically but mentally. There's so many times in my life that I wanted to be present, but I couldn't because my body wouldn't let me. Also, it was so difficult for me to complete school because I was always in and out of the hospital. When I was in college, I found passion in beauty. Starting my sophomore year, I created Impeccable Beats, and that was my makeup artistry business. I did makeup on top of balancing other jobs. Makeup brought me so much happiness. Seeing my clients happy made me happy. It didn't matter how tired I was, how sick I was, that was something that gave me drive. Even when I was in the hospital, I could not wait to get out because I could not wait to beautify my clients. So both of my parents are from Ghana, West Africa. So they didn't really believe in the artistic world. They didn't really believe in craft. They only believed in academics. So I knew that I wanted to pursue beauty, but they wanted me to pursue academics, getting a 9-to-5, having a corporate job, and being safe in the world. After I graduated college, I had to get a corporate job because my dad was not happy that I wanted to take a year off after graduating from college. So I moved to New York City. I was so miserable. I knew that there was more to life than what I was doing in the city. This is where I realized sometimes, even though we're not dealt the best cards in life, God will let you win with the cards that you thought weren't that great. I was miserable in the city. I wanted to come back home. I had felt God pushing me into the aesthetics world because every day I prayed to God asking him what my purpose was because I knew what I was doing was not my purpose. I asked my parents if I could come back home from New York City back to Albany and to let me pursue aesthetics. They told me no, and I needed to stay the year out and it would get better. I got sick multiple times when I was in the city, and the care that I was under was an awful experience. I actually had PTSD from the experiences that I received in the hospital in New York City. My parents saw how badly I was being mistreated. When I told them I wanted to come back home, at first they told me no, but once I got sick again and the same thing happened again, they finally told me I could come home. When I came home, I begged them to let me go to aesthetic school, and they told me no because I already have too many loans from going to college, a school that I didn't even want to go to in the first place. So I took it upon myself to find a way to be able to finance myself going to aesthetic school because I knew God was pushing me to come into this industry. I didn't know why, but I knew God was calling me here, and now that I'm here, I understand. I took it upon myself to go to multiple banks to try to figure out how to finance school, and I was having a difficult time because I did have a lot of student loans, so it wasn't looking too hot. I kept praying about it, and finally my dad did decide to come through after a lot of back and forth, and he helped me get through aesthetic school, which I am very grateful for today. So that brought me here, and the whole point of this story is to show that God can use a negative situation into a positive one. I was so miserable when I was getting sick and mistreated in the a city. I didn't understand why I was going through that. I didn't know that God was going to use that situation to turn my life around. Because if I hadn't had gotten sick, my parents would not have let me come home and go to aesthetic school. After aesthetic school, I decided to open my business in the middle of the pandemic, and everyone thought I was crazy for doing that, but I just knew that this is where God called me to be. And now I know why he put me here, because being able to be an esthetician, being able to be an entrepreneur, it has given me freedom. Freedom not only to be able to take control of my health by being able to make my own schedule, but freedom so I don't have to explain such a sensitive topic with employers who honestly don't even care about me. And not only do I have freedom now to take control of my health, I get to help men and women every day achieve the skin of their dreams. On top of being able to do services for them, I get to speak life into every single one of my clients, because I know how it feels to have the odds stacked against you before you were even given a chance at life. I hope this story was inspiring for you. I hope this story pushes you to pursue your goals no matter how hard life tries to push you down. Keep going and don't quit. And if you do suffer from a chronic illness, don't let your chronic illness define you. There's so many times where I just feel like giving up because I feel like I had no control over my body, but I can't give up. If you still are breathing, if you still have breath in your nose, in your mouth, that means your purpose isn't finished yet. Keep going and don't quit.